Amy Klobuchar, who of course was running for president as a Democrat a couple of years ago. She's largely become irrelevant, but she's still hanging around. She was on Meet the Press with Chuck Todd. Now, Chuck Todd is obviously a Democrat. He is a Democrat activist pretending to be a journalist. And here they are talking about censorship and big tech and what we should do about all of you people who say things that they don't like.
Look, let's be realistic. The tobacco companies changed after being hit with hefty lawsuits, more than government regulation. After the lawsuits came more government regulation. Right. Do you think if you open these companies up to lawsuits, and by the way, Facebook's being sued overseas for what its role in the Ethiopian civil war and some other places, do you think their behavior would change?
Yes. Because then, in order to continue, they have to put safety measures in place. Instead of sending out sweet little notes about all the good work they're doing. They would actually have to do something.
How these guys actually act in cahoots. The way he frames the question, comparing big tech companies who don't do what he wants, which is silence you, to tobacco companies, that's the danger. Now, tobacco companies knowingly were killing people. Everyone knew that nicotine was addictive. They knew that they were putting all sorts of other chemicals in there, and they knew how many people were dying of emphysema or lung cancer, et cetera, et cetera. And they had all this junk science and all these people that they would put on these shows to lie about it and everything else. Comparing that to big tech companies, and I'm not defending big tech companies, but their argument is big tech companies are not doing enough to silence you. It's such a crazy jump in logic, but he frames it that way, and that's just perfect for her to say, if they don't do what we want, then we're going to start suing them into oblivion, or we'll break them up, or we'll send regulators in there, or God knows what. So you have a giant news organization, NBC News, calling for the silence of people. And why would they do that? Because they want the monopoly on information, right? Chuck Todd does not want, I don't know Chuck Todd, but Chuck Todd does not want you watching the Rubin Report, right? Chuck Todd doesn't want you thinking about things that are outside of the window of the things that he wants you to think about, right? Of course not, right? He wants people to believe in his worldview and watch that. I would like if more people believed in my worldview, but I'm not out there trying to censor other people. And of course, the really interesting part about that is what they keep telling you they're worried about is misinformation and disinformation. But if we were to go through the litany of things that Chuck Todd and NBC News and CNN and Washington Post and everywhere else has lied about over the last couple of years, they would all be banning themselves and suing themselves into oblivion and much more.